Ladies and gentlemen, today we are discussing a topic which says personal insecurity and genuine impression of African leaders today. As usual, I am called Dr. Kwikiriza Asaph. I'm a consultant with Plan International. So when you look at our leaders today, especially in times when interacting with international media houses, in this case journalists, newspapers, locally and internationally, one cannot go without mentioning that it seems like these leaders today, they are not secure. They are not secure. Why? Why are they looking insecure? So the guiding questions today are, what has made our leaders so looking so insecure? What is it? Second question is, what should we do to save our leaders? Third question, how can a head of state look insecure? 3, is there a secret behind this impression? So I want you to look into that topic right now, then we discuss it. When you move around Africa, whether west, north, east, south, all these leaders, especially when interacting with journalists or addressing state nation address or interacting with newspapers, journalists, you will notice that insecurity. So we need to cross-examine our leaders, and we clearly and closely, so that we can discover the real disease and describe rightful medication. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to state that today, when you look at our leaders, you will find that they have decided to, they are lewd, their conduct is not as usual, and a professional conduct, then use of abusive languages like fools, nonsense, pigs, rats, all sorts of that, and a professional language. So, what is it? I want you to look at the following points, and we discuss it in detail. Maybe it could be the disease, the source of the sickness. One, look at the elections. The way these leaders organize elections, automatically you can discover that most of them, if not all, elections are won before campaigns. Examples are so many. Check in your countries. So, as usual, a thief is always guilty. This could be one of the reasons why these guys are looking so unconfident, so lewd, unprofessional. You can even depict it from their body languages, the way they look like. They are not comfortable. So, because of such a bad acts of rigging, stealing, what? It has affected their confidence. And therefore, of course, guiltiness. This applies to all leaders from the national to the local levels. They all cheat. They rig elections, including even opposition leaders. They also rig elections. So this is one of the causes of the unprofessional conduct of our leaders today. Then another one, we need to look at democracy. Democracy today has been abused by these leaders. How? When you look at our democracy, you can't isolate democracy from human rights. You cannot talk of democracy without mentioning rule of law. You cannot talk of democracy without the major principles of democracy, like transparency, fairness, equity. All these are the guiding principles of our democracy. But check in your countries and tell me, are the human rights respected? Is it? Is the rule of law operational, or it is compromised? But in most of African countries, the rule of law has been used as a tool to oppress, discriminate, punish the minority groups or those who oppose the ruling party, in this to be specific. So it's no longer there. It's compromised. And therefore, when these journalists talk about human rights abuses, oh God, it's a war. It's like someone with a wound, then you add a salt in it. Then, of course, there is pain. So that's how they feel when these journalists ask them about human rights abuse or rule of law. They tend to be so rude, and I don't know where is this taking Africa. Then we need to look at they use these laws as a tool to retain their power. Examples are so many in Africa. All these leaders, they have refused totally to leave power. They are now addicted to power. They can't leave. They can kill. They can murder. They can assassinate. They can even, others have gone as far as creating the militia groups to kill opponents, either inside or outside their respective countries. We can get the examples. The assassination of leader of opposition groups. I therefore take this opportunity even to thank those who have managed to accommodate and tolerate the opposition leaders at all levels in their countries. Don't kill. These are Africans. If they criticize you, please correct the mistake. Africa will not go anywhere unless we own our own mistakes and correct them. That's the truth. So, please stop that habit. Don't kill. So, because of such acts and actions, they are no longer confident of themselves. They know with the people they lead, knows their actions, knows their plans. So you can't expect confidence, you can't expect professionalism, you can't expect respect. So please, that's the cause of the of unprofessional conduct. Of course, it is very unfortunate that some of these leaders, they use the ideologies of Pan-Africanism, nationalism, patriotism, so that they can blackmail the people. How can you be a patriotic when you are killing nationals? You are people, you are subordinates, you are. What do you want to read if you finish them? Tell me. He's a patriotic. He's a Pan-African. Don't abuse the ideology. That's a belief of our fathers, African founding fathers, like Kwame Nkrumah, like Mwalimu Nyerere of Tanzania, like Patrice Lumumba of former Zaire. Those were Pan-Africanists. You, I don't know how I can describe you, but it's a shame. I think in future we are going to define you who you are, but not Pan-Africanists. Please forget. You can't be. Pan-Africanism is not by mere talks. No, it's by action. You have failed to unite African people. Even at the regional level, you have failed completely. And that's why you do whatever it takes so that you retain the power. You are addicted of power. You are addicted of 20-gun salutes. You are addicted of big convoys and luxury life. This is the truth. This is the truth. That's why uniting Africa cannot happen. It has failed. It has continuously been disunited. So I don't know where you are taking this continent. Where can we go without unity? The benefits of unity, you know them. When we talk about unity of Africa, we only talk about security. We talk security, capable security. We talk of markets. We talk of infrastructure, connectivity. We are talking of human resource development, free movement of goods, those industrialization and value addition. Those are some of the benefits. But you have refused completely. So that's one of the causes of this unprofessional conduct of these leaders these days. You can cross-check in your countries and prove me wrong. Then another point, we need to look at performance. Some of these leaders, let me tell you the truth, some of these leaders even cannot justify their term in office. They can't, because they have nothing like an output. What you can see is extravagance. What you can see is mismanagement of resources, mismanagement of office, inefficiency, corruption scandals. They are good in that, from the national level to the lower levels. Even managers, even leaders, managers of institutions, they are like that. That's what you can notice, but you will never see outputs. You can't. So they must be guilty. That's the proof of guiltiness. That's the proof of rudeness. That's the proof of unprofessional conduct. Especially when you are asked about outputs, they will turn against you and start abusing you. But please, these words are unprofessional. Stop that, because it has become part and parcel, a habit now, a culture to African leaders. You just go in your countries, ask the RDCs what they do. They can't justify it. I'm telling you this. I'm giving you an example of my own country, Uganda. They can't justify. You ask RDCs, they are here. You think they are 300 now? They are here or in all districts. But go there in those districts and ask what they do on a daily basis. But for me, I know every day they are in workshops, trainings of NGOs, signing allowances and grabbing land for peasants. They are good at that. Even others, Chairman, RC5. If you look at all those problems people have in their respective areas, you can't imagine if there is a near leader around. I'm giving you an example. Even my own district, I've never seen a chairman RC5 in my village, my cell level, only during elections, or any government vehicle like veterinary, like agriculture officer coming to supervise the farmers. I've never. I'm now 46. I only meet them during campaigns. Even in your countries, I suspect that's the disease. So the guiltiness is obvious because they know they are doing nothing. Yes, it's obvious. Imagine with all those cars, escorts, escorts, bodyguards, and convoy, and guns, and you wonder what are you paid for? Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you cheating yourselves? Come closer to the people and listen to them and discuss with them, get rightful solutions to their problems. Africa is poor. Africa is not poor, but it is poorly managed. The only problem Africa has is poor management from the zero level to the national level. People can provide their own solutions to their own problems if they are engaged in planning, decision making, and solution finding. I'm telling you, they can find their own solutions. But look at what is happening. We think peasants cannot plan. They don't have ideas. We presume that as leaders, and then we plan for them without even giving them right to make priorities. You bring a road, they need water. Where you put water, they need a school. But for you, you don't know. But for them, they know. They know what they want. Are they consulted? No. And the consultants are there. MPs are supposed to consult them. Local government is supposed to consult them. But they are not. What are they doing? Just sit in their councils and draft their own plans, their own activities. Then where do you expect ownership of those outputs? Because they are theirs. Little they are. Moreover, the big share is in municipalities and towns and town councils. But for the villagers, they are villagers. Eh? And these are supposed to be the kings because they are the producer of food, of everything we need. What industries need, what we eat in town, it comes from the common man, from the peasant. Sorry, I don't normally use those words, the common man, because we normally use those words, abuse them. Common man, ordinary man, local person. Imagine. These are peasants. You need to define them clearly. They are peasants. They are producer of food. They are producer of raw materials for industries. But in the end, they take small share. Additionally, they are not consulted. And we expect ownership and sustainability of those outputs. This is the problem of Africa. This is where the problem is. If you bring a borehole without consulting them, now, how do you expect them to maintain it? That's where the dependence, continuous dependency comes from. But if you consult them before, they will own it. They will say, this is our borehole. But when you bring it like the way you do, It's government product. They don't care. Even some of them, they say, hey, go to government borehole. You can hear about it. So that's where the problem is. Then the fifth one, we need to look at representation. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, you represent African skinned people wherever you are, whether you are interacting with BBC, whether Al Jazeera, whether you International Human Rights Watch, you are representing African skinned black people, meaning you need not to ashame us. Answer those questions they are asking you. Give the and let me tell you, because they have everything on the ground. If you are not aware, all these NGOs, these one, all of them, they report to them. That's why even you report wrong figures, cooked reports and doctoring reports. So, therefore, we need to cross-check clearly our leaders and we examine the rightful medication. Failure to do so, they are going to shame us. That is obvious. That is obvious. That is automatic. So you bear in mind, you represent the African black-skinned people. You get the point? Yes. So the third point we need to look at is foreign aid. Foreign aid, you have sold this continent, of course. You know it. It's now part and parcel of us. Even building a public toilet, I think, it needs a aid, it needs a loan. This is where Africa has reached now. There's nothing we can do on our own. So, therefore, if you decided to take Africa on that path, you need to justify that money they give you. Why are you rude? That's the way you decided. But let me tell you, foreign aid will never take Africa anywhere until we go back to the principles and basics. We plan on our own and do very little, but ours. We can't remain to be beggars. If you decided to be a beggar, please be ready to answer the questions. Don't they give you money, you need to justify it. With reports, with examples. Not these cooked developmental reports you give. They have standard measures. They are here. If you go to World Bank and take $1 per day, and you apply it to Ugandans or South Africans or Kenyans a day, how many can afford that? But look at your reports, what you report. 60% are no longer poor. 70%. My GDP is growing at 7%. From where? From where? If you take $2 per day, it's ridiculous. So funny. You find even 40, you can't achieve even 40%. But mere words, GDP is growing 8%. That's the growth of China today. Should not deceive. And they have the truth. How can you talk of development when we see gigas, we see hunger, we see high mortality rates, when we see these impassable roads, when we see diseases, illiteracy? How do you justify that? This is the Africa we are in now. So foreign aid will never take Africa. And I want to call upon all African allies, please advocate against this sickness, this evil. Foreign aid. Foreign aid. We need to write, even I'm suggesting we should write to IMF and World Bank and China government. They should not give us loan again. We can't beg for life. For generation to generation to another generation without any financial independence plan or plan B or strategic plan. We can't. We can't be beggars. If you presidents, you've decided to be beggars, go alone. Don't use our name. I therefore call upon all Africans, wherever you are, to advocate against this evil. We can't. We can't be beggars for life. That's a shame. That's a shame on African people. So that's the guiltiness. Don't search it anywhere. That's the rudeness they are showing. That's lack of confidence. You can see all the leaders, they are no longer confident as they used to be. They are not. Definitely, we need to look at another point is the is the is the the governance itself, how societies are governed. Some countries have huge administrative structure which are not managed, which are not organized. 300 districts, provinces, or municipalities, all this. That's where the resources are misused. Instead of having very small municipalities, but we are creating more constituencies for political reasons. There is no justification for creation of so many constituencies other than politics and identity. And we stand to say that we are Pan-Africans, that we serve the interest of the people. We serve the interest of the people. No, you don't. You are actually tribalistic because you are dividing them according to their tribes. And actually, that's why I recommend Ethiopia. Ethiopia, they are very good. If you look at their constitution, their diversity is clearly defined. But in other countries, they just use it as a cover. So we need to cross-check ourselves wherever you are and organize these societies so that they can be properly managed. That's what we want. We don't want anything apart from being well organized, coordinated, and planned. Then we develop like other continents. Instead of watching, are we watching football match? China, America, Commonwealth, all this. We are not. So, conclusively, I want to thank you and welcome you. Your questions, any question, any supplement is welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I wish you well, and Africa will be great again. Thank you.